All right, so I think everything's good to go.
All right, let's go.
Had to hydrate there.
All right, good.
Hello everyone, Jordan here, and today we're going to be doing another tier list video. As requested from the last video, we're doing a video this time on X-Plane 11 to show that I am a very diverse person. I'm accompanied here with Brendan. I'm kind of invested into X-Plane, but not nearly as much as I am with Prepared. But Brendan also is equally as bad in X-Plane as I am, so I think we can collaborate our subpar knowledge into mediocre knowledge and then do this adequately here. Let's start off with the big name, Flight Factor Aero. I feel like in the X-Plane community, Flight Factor is regarded as their PMDG, but in my opinion, they're much worse than PMDG, not only on the aircraft development side, the PR side as well.
I mean, their products aren't bad
per se. They're not worth their cost. They have yet to properly model a Boeing airline. They cannot model a Boeing jet to save their life. If somebody's life was on the line. If somebody's life was on the line and they said, Flight Factor, model a correct Boeing airliner, I'd be like, shoot me right now. Let's just do it now. Again, they're rumored to be working on the 777 V2, but I mean, like, do you really have that much confidence in them? They put winglets on the 767-200. That never happened. That's like putting winglets on the 737-600. That never happened. That was never a thing. I don't know why you did that. Captain Sim made the same fatal mistake, but
yeah, they came up with some random old winglet design that no one uses.
I'm like, why did you do that? They also have the redundance to kind of say you're wrong. They use the Boeing blueprints, which are not proportionally correct. Dimensionally, yeah, they're correct, but proportionally, they're terrible, and you should not use them. But they like to ignore all, constructive criticism from the people that pay them $80. So, yeah, for those reasons and more, I'm thinking about putting them in the C category.
Yeah, I can C.
But B, because the systems are pretty good.
Yeah, the system-wise, they're cool, and the A320 is a good aircraft.
Yeah, the A320, I really don't have that any problems, if any, at all. Just the fact that it only has one engine option and, no sharklets, but again...
Yeah. You can get add-ons for that to fix that.
So, they're innovative, like with the rain, but they're also really redundant to fixing their problems. Yeah. And, oh yeah, they're repainters. I don't want to name anybody specifically, but oh my god.
Their American Airlines livery for the 7.6 is,
Ooh, let's just say, Flight Factor, they are worldwide in terms of livery quality. Also, by the way, it's a quick intermission right now. Hey, Art, you guys know Patrick or the Flight Sim deck? You know how he's completely abandoned, prepared, and he uses X-Plane now? This will be a great opportunity. Patrick, if you're not using your P3D add-ons, please give them to me. I will put.
Can you share with me too?
Please, we will use your add-ons. We will put the money to good worth. If you're not using prepared anymore, just send them my way, dog. Just send them. My email address is on the screen. Just send them my way, dog. You know what to do. Just send me the installers, send me the keys, send me your account info, potentially your credit card, social security number, your mother's maiden name, and birthday. Will be good to go. All right.
And your hardware.
That too. Okay, the 737 Ultimate. You're probably aware, I work with those guys. Not really work, I just paint. I also made that first post. That was a horrid thing. Oh, that was not a good time.
I remember that. Didn't that get shut down?
It got shut down twice. It's like a good freeware project, but I feel like it's kind of going downhill now. More is because it's becoming more capitalized. Let's go with that. People are now getting furious over copyright things and over, oh, you're using my assets, don't do this, or you're using my stuff, don't do that. It's no longer this fun little happy-go-lucky project. And it's I feel like the 700 is really showing the state of what it is now, because that is not a good plane. That's not a good plane. It's not.
Yeah, it's really broken.
The modeling is incorrect on it. Using an 800 flight model in this is a horrid decision. I understand they wanted to get it out early, but it makes the plane literally will MCAS into the ground. And oh my god, how do you do that?
I mean, I would have rather had them work on it a lot longer and have it actually like working properly than have it like now.
Like with the MCP thing when they changed the color. I mean, like, that's something I'd expect a repainter to do as a quick little nag. You know, like, you remember when I had the little lines on the HUD because it wasn't functional? Yeah, I feel like that's an acceptable substitute for, or from like a repainter, someone not in the development side of things. But you're a developer, and you're trying to create the most realistic 737 out there, which is an awfully big accolade to try to tackle, but I digress. For those reasons, I feel like you can't really be cutting corners like that. It just feels kind of like it doesn't fit what you're going for. Plus, the new textures they came out with 3.30, as well as the new mapping that I utterly hate is ooh. I'm willing to put this in the B or C category.
Honestly,
it's like it's a brilliant freeware project. But the second you start treating it seriously, like from a repaint standpoint, there are some things I hate so much on that. I'm sorry for cutting you off, sir. I was repainting the 700, and because the way it's mapped, it's like there's little pixel differences. So something that lines up on one side of the fuselage, 9 times out of 10 does not line up the same way on the other side of the fuselage. I'm not sure why this happened, but it is. And furthermore, things like the winglets, they're not the same like shape. So if I cut the shape out of one winglet, I cannot place it perfectly into the other winglet, which drives me up a wall because I have to guesstimate where things are. Why is it like this? Why did we change the mapping and break compatibility with hundreds, if not thousands of liveries prior? I don't know, but I digress. It's reasons like that, once you get past, you know, the user side of things into the producer side of things, that kind of start to irk me. So I want to put it in B to C category, but the fact that it's still freeware, I'm going to probably put it in the B category. Even though it's freeware for legal reasons and all, but yeah. So X-Crafts, they just released their ERJ. Their modeling is usually pretty good.
It's really good.
And that's usually a big problem in X-Plane because the first two developers we talked about today both have modeling problems. So this one doesn't, and I'm really happy for them doing that. Systems are usually a little light, but on the contrary, it's made by like one guy, 1 or 2 people, and it's more of like a fun hobby of them. So and they're really fun-going people, and they're upfront about what's happening. So I think we could put them in the A category.
Yeah, they remind me of like the Quality Wings.
Yeah, they're not the best. But they're very clear about what they're doing. SSG, again, I feel like they're not as nice as X-Crafts, nor is the modeling as good, but their systems are a little better. So
I mean, their 7.4 is a little bit outdated, but their Embraers are
the Embraers,
Boeing Brazil are pretty good.
Boeing Brazil, I like that up-to-date man right there. I kind of hate their 7.4 with a passion because I ended up getting that for screenshots only, and even in screenshots it looks kind of bad, but you know, to be fair, it's an old plane, but yeah. I think we can put them in the B category. They are making me too. I'll put them in the B category. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just that, you know. Short Final Designs, known as Mr. X otherwise. I think, without a doubt, we can put him in the S tier because he basically single-handedly kept X-Plane alive, you know, especially when nobody took it seriously back in 10 and 9 with his sceneries, and he really showed the world that you can have high-quality scenery for free, and I think he's a really chill guy, and yeah, I sent him a message one time asking if I could modify his stuff, and then he said, I really appreciate it, but please don't because I'm working on a revamp. Normally, I would have been like, oh, he's not doing that, he's bluffing. He ended up releasing a revamp of the scenery like a few weeks later, and I was like, wow, I'm so proud. Okay.
And like, one thing I use whenever I play an X-Plane, I use world traffic, and like 0 sceneries come out with world traffic routes. But he contacted Captain K-Man and got him to make the best world traffic 3 routes, and I love it.
Xplan.org, that site that, you know, is worded so that people think it's affiliated with the real X-Plane from Laminar Research. Probably a big problem right there. They're a very dated site, and there's a lot of stuff I don't really like about it. There's a limited photo quality size that you can upload, which means you can only upload really low res pictures. It also has a file limit size, again, which means I'm limited to a lot. This is why I'm forced to use MediaFire, because most of my files won't work on xplan.org. The layout is old, the design is old, the moderators are still stuck in Xplane 9 in terms of, you know, realizing the community and realizing how to treat people. They also shut down Peter's 777 project for saying that he didn't have like enough previews. I thought that was awfully hypocritical, and like there are so many projects where people just say, hey, I'm making a 777X and give you no proof. But Peter had a working textured model flying in the air. The model looks complete at the part. Yeah, it was all. I don't understand. It seemed very double-sided because xplan.org, similar to Boeing and the FAA, are really cozy with flight factor, so it's really hard. When they see a competitor, they're not really fond of it. Let's just go with that. For that reason, as well as a few other refund scandals and whatnot, I'm thinking about putting them in the D or E category.
C or D.
They're not F level, but I feel like they're kind of E, because they're gonna soon to be F quality. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they really are outdated though. Their website isn't that the greatest looking either.
We've got Magnite with the Magnite 7.8. X-Plane's most recent 787 that they've got. It's okay. I mean,
it started out as freeware.
Yeah.
They've done a lot to it. I mean, it's like functional now, so.
It doesn't look nearly as good as the quality wings, but then again,
the modeling needs some help.
Yeah, they're not charging us as much, but even still, the modeling is really kind of they're pushing it in my eyes.
They are.
They're nice in terms of developers, though. Most of them at the very least. So
they take criticism pretty well, because I've seen them on some forums.
I heard that they're gonna completely revamp the model, so they're dedicated to improving. I think we can put them in the C category right now, not for bad behavior, but just for the quality of their products right now. They're improving, and that's the important thing to know, is so when they improve, then they'll be bumped up. So I think that's what we'll go with. Oh my god, I'm at 13 minutes of audio and I'm not even a third done. Oh my god. Vertical Simulations, as you saw from my last review, I'm very fond of him. That's a really nice guy. I really like him. He's really chill and everything else. He does airports that not a lot of people pay attention to, and he also listens to his consumers. Like, he does polls where he's like, what should my next airport be? And then he does it. And then it's out like within a month, which blows my mind, because he works at an incredibly fast rate. He puts out pretty high quality sceneries, and they're affordable. So he's a really nice guy. I feel like he's honestly worthy of S tier.
Yeah, I forget what airport he's working on, but he released some screenshots like a couple days ago, and it looks really good.
I can put him in S tier because he's affordable, he's kind, and he releases high quality products and listens to his consumers. I think all the traits of a good developer.
He literally goes on people's streams and asks them what they think about the scenery.
When I told him that I was reviewing his scenery, he messaged me and said, please point out something wrong. And I'm like, well, it's gonna be hard. He's like, I don't care, find something. I'm like, okie doke, okay. Jar Design, I think they're kind of a meme at this point. I feel like they're at the level of FS Meme Team in the prepared world, only for X-Plane. Their plane is modeled okay.
The cockpit is the exterior model is decent.
Yeah.
I'm talking about A330 though.
Yeah, A330. A320's a bit of
Yeah, they totally like abandoned that.
Yeah, I don't blame them though. Their ground handling feels like a great value or off-brand GSX, which I think is what it's supposed to be. But for the price they're charging for it, it's kind of bad. I feel like we can put them in the D group because they're not too innovative, at least not anymore, and they're kind of falling behind, and they're not very clear about what their purpose is. If you release if they were like X-Crafts, where they were upfront about it and saying our plane is not supposed to be this level, then that's completely different. But they're kind of, you know,
They still got an A340 on the way, so
yeah, that's true. That's true. The EADT X737, didn't have a logo. So I was forced to use this picture, and as you can see, as the further we get down, a lot of these developers don't have a logo, so I'm forced to use pictures from them, but yeah. Nonetheless, this was the first 737 NG that was really available for X-Plane, at least of high quality.
That was decent, and it was free.
Yeah, they had like an XFMC thing, but you know, you didn't need it. The modeling is a little subpar, and the sounds are pretty good at the least. It was like again, I feel like they deserve some credit because they kind of kept X-Plane alive during the stages when it wasn't very popular. So I want to acknowledge them for that. So I'm thinking maybe C tier, you know, just smack in the middle.
I mean, I really haven't heard that much about them lately. I think they're kind of dead.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, they released a good plane that really, you know, it served its purpose, it served its time, so. Ooh, Rotate Sim, one of my favorite developers.
Yes.
I'm coming at it. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna be really biased here. They have an awesome 80s like theme with their products, especially with the MD80.
They're my favorite developer. I love
awesome.
that. Their MD80 is amazing, dude. I love it.
They had retro 80s. For when they were showcasing their 1.1, I think 1.3 update for the MD80, they made it completely 80s like, and I was like, oh my god.
Awesome.
All those moments.
It is. They're super chill developers. When they first released the MD80, it was flawed with problems, but they talked to real pilots and fixed it. I love that, bro. I love that. And they're working on an MD11. So, I think we are legally required to put them in the S tier. We have to put them in the S tier.
They do what PNG didn't with the
MD11. Apparently they are competent enough to realize people want an MD11. LES Simulations, they're a really good group. They have a Saab 340, which I think I read somewhere it was such high in fidelity that it was used with real airline training, which is a big whoa right there.
Nothing on them. And with
they're really nice overall, and you know, they make good planes, so. They're kind of dead, but they did a really good job with their Saab, and it's affordably priced, or reasonably priced, so I'm thinking we could do the A tier. A tier.
Yep.
A tier. We're at 18 minutes of recording, and we're only halfway there. Threshold. Peter works with Threshold. KJO also works with Threshold. And in case you haven't realized, he and I get into some livery competitions with each other.
Jordan's better.
I thought we all knew that. It's a really nice, they're really like nice group of people. However, Threshold overall, I really like them. They're pretty good, and they're pretty fun of a group. I like them.
They keep up on the news as well.
Yeah. I prefer them over FS Elite usually because, you know, they're up to date with X-Plane news.
In terms of X-Plane.
In terms of X-Plane news. Prepared news and other news, that's a completely different story. But yeah. If I want high quality, up to speed X-Plane news, I go to Threshold. So I'm thinking A tier. Peter occasionally roasts me, and that really like destroys my confidence for the day. So I'm forced to put them in A tier instead of S tier.
Reviews are good. That's all that matters.
Yeah, the same thing with KJO. He tried roasting me today for the fact that I released a lot of updates, and I was just like, bro, you just destroyed my emotions. Tolus, mixed emotions. Mixed emotions. I'm gonna let you take over this because you know this better.
Their A319 started out as like a surprise project, because I remember watching a video on it when it first was released, like when it first was announced. And when it was released, it wasn't all that great, but they've taken a lot from the community, and they've made it like a pretty good aircraft. Like, it's top tier aircraft. I'd put them at least A or S honestly now.
Okay, dog. I don't have the plane. I don't work with the plane. I could put them in the S tier. I can put them in A tier, dog. I can. Let's do it.
With the improvements and how they listen to the community, yeah, they should be pretty high up.
Okay. Fly J Sim. It's I mean, everybody loves them. They're down to earth people. They listen to the community, and they're rebooting all of their planes instead of just leaving it, which I love. Yeah, they're really great. I want to put them in the S tier. However, Delta Who, one of their employees, used to have a screenshot competition on his Discord server, which is a pretty small one, but whatever. And I lost one time. It really hurt me because the picture I used was a picture that was like used to promote the 7.5 for Captain Sim. So I was like, how is the picture that good for them, but it didn't work? Okay, I thought it was a rigged election, if you ask me, but because of that, I get like I got like a bad taste in my mouth thanks to Delta Who and Fly J Sim.
At least his Discord stats okay.
We can put it in the A tier for that. That's a joke, guys. It's a joke. Don't take it too seriously. IXEG. I think they released the first really high quality 7.3 for X-Plane.
But they've been kind of dead though.
Kind of dead. They also showed PMDG what a proper proportioned cockpit is.
Yes.
They did. So now PMDG is like making sure this is done properly for the NG3. I think IXUG was a big part of pioneering the conversion over to X-Plane because people realize we can have a near PMDG quality 737 with us. I wouldn't say it's at the same quality. At least it doesn't have that much variance as the PMDG, which gives it the factor. But I could put them in the A tier for what they did and how they really kept the sim alive. The sounds are great. Modeling is great except for the winglets.
I hope that they have a project going.
Yeah, I think they were working on the 4 and 500, but I mean, like, when they announced it, Southwest was still flying the 300s. So.
Yeah, well now, yeah.
Yeah, ever since Southwest retired the 300s, I just don't care anymore. So.
Yeah, I've uninstalled the aircraft now. That was the only reason why I had it.
Yeah, same here. Airfoil Labs. I personally don't know much about them. I think they have a King Air.
Yeah,
you know what? Just to keep everybody happy, we can put them in the C tier, which is dead in the middle.
Yeah, I'll put them there because I really don't know anything.
I don't know much about them. It's like people aren't talking about them. Whenever I see people chat about them, it's not of PMDG quality, but it's not of like xplane.org quality either. So just put them in the middle. Nimbus Simulations. I equate them to FS Dream Team, if you will.
Yeah.
They don't make bad sceneries per se, but their sceneries usually do have a problem here or there. And yeah, Atlanta really hurts. He is doing ATL next, and I'm really happy that he's doing that. And he's doing Memphis and Dulles, so his sceneries are pretty good for the average consumer. They're not bad or anything. They're not of like short final designs quality, especially with like the elevation changes and whatnot. But I will say that he does a good job with what he does. So I'm thinking C or B tier. You can come with this one.
I mean, since he's revamping scenery, you don't really see how that many developers do that. I'll put him B.
Okay. No,
he's noticing the mistakes he made.
Yeah, he's willing to go back and fix his mistakes. I like that. Jay Rollin, we've got his CRJ. I think he quit development on a V2, which was a little sad, but he did live streams of the development, and he played a huge role in X-Plane, especially in the X-Plane 9, 10, and early 11 era in supplying default models and everything. So I think for his generosity, we can put him in the A tier automatically for that, because of just... His
the aircraft's old,
great.
But it's pretty good.
It's old, but it's good.
It does the job.
It does the job. It's old, does the job, and he was really nice and kind of helped make the default stuff great. World Traffic 3. I'm gonna be kind of real with you, dog. I don't like it. I don't.
I mean, the one thing I hate about it is that you have to have like download like routes, so certain airports don't work and some airports do.
I also really am not a big fan of the models themselves.
Yeah,
Who the frick has Tinkerbell 1 as the standard Canyon Blue livery for Southwest Airlines? Why? What were you thinking? I'm sorry. As a native Southwest person, this really bugs me. It really grinds my gears. I thought that was the most incompetent thing you could have possibly done, but...
Isn't like... I forget someone's making like an AI program for X-Plane now.
Just Flight is.
Just Flight, yeah. Hopefully that'll be good.
For that and compatibility issues, as well as models that aren't really accurate, like no winglets for 7.3s and stuff, and the models themselves, the gear and everything. The prepared AI traffic I feel like it's miles higher, and even, Ultimate Traffic Live, because you and I both have experience with that.
Yep.
Even the older models that aren't as good have some details that these models don't. So, I think...
Like, with Ultimate Traffic, you can, like, change the models and upgrade them. Like, I have Maxes flying around now. But with...
Bro, I think
World Traffic... Oh, I'm sorry.
The FAA is not going to be very happy with that.
Well, okay, I'll put it this way. I got A220s flying around. But with World Traffic, you can't do that. And you also have upgraded with stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like, with Southwest, I'm able to upgrade my fleet. I've got the A350 replacing the 7.4 for Delta. I've got the 777-300ER for United replacing the 7.4. I can change things. I have customization. So, yeah, some of the default stuff is pretty god-awful, but I'm given the ability to improve it. You can't really do that with this, because the way the texture files and everything is written out is kind of difficult. So, I'm thinking D tier, because... it's AI traffic and people seem to like it, but for me, it's not that good. Sam, Scenery Add-on Manager. They're really revolutionizing the game. I
Yes.
really like it. Their X-Plane jetways usually suck. Usually. That's just an undeniable fact. They're usually god-awful. But they're changing that, and I like it. And they're adding things like being able to open doors at facilities, opening hangars, having new systems and all that. I feel like that's really good. And it's free, which I love, because, you know, you could pull an FS Dream Team and make you have to pay $20 to $30 on top of $20 to $30 to replace all of it.
Yeah.
But I like it. I like that they're doing this. I think we can put them in the A tier for it.
Yeah. And along with them being free, you're gonna see a lot of like freeware people using them.
Yeah. So yeah, free sceneries now have great jetways. It's great. Better pushback. That revolutionary, you know, plugin that made pushbacks great, that was free. I think that's amazing. 2 highs, but project's kind of dead now. And then I've also started to realize how rare this tug is used in the US, at least for domestic flights.
Yeah.
I think we can put him in the B tier. I know some people are gonna say, well, Jordan, you use better pushback all the time. I mean, like, yeah, bro, that's true. We're not saying it's bad, but we are saying it can be improved. The bugs are really starting to show because it hasn't been updated in a while. Yeah. If I were doing this tier list like a year ago, it'd be more in the A or S tier, but because it's kind of been neglected a little bit, it's gonna be down here. Now, I do think the developer's working on another project. I think he worked with the TBM actually, so I understand why he's gone, but it's not a bad thing. Don't see B tier as a bad tier. Autogate, he kind of revolutionized the sim, but in the same time,
and he probably led the SAM as well.
Yeah. The same time though, it's god awful when you just accidentally tap the brakes at the gate, and it's game over when you do that. It also looks kind of crappy.
It's outdated.
Yeah, it's outdated. I think we could put it in the C tier. You know, we're not doing this based off what they did 10 years ago. We're also paying attention what it is now. It's not updated, at least frequently. Kalamata, is that how it's pronounced?
Kalamata, yeah. I think
okay. Did they release anything prior to the Concorde?
I think this is their first aircraft.
Ooh, this is an awfully big bite. Oh. Okay.
Very complex one.
Not a lot of people bite into the freaking Concorde as their first aircraft, but it's modeled pretty well. Systems are...
System-wise.
Oh, it's a bit of a meme.
The flight engineer doesn't even have gauges. Like, those aren't even modeled at all.
When you have a Garmin as your primary mode of navigation and a Concorde, Congress requires me to laugh at that.
He's like made forum posts talking about what he's gonna add, and it seems like it's gonna be a really good aircraft, but just like now it's just I don't think it should be out to the public yet. I think it's a tad bit early.
All right, so what do you think? I'm thinking between B and C.
C, knowing that what he's hopefully what he's gonna do in the future, I mean I would put the developer at B right now, but the aircraft would probably be like a C.
More like C. Aircraft. I need like an intermediate range where I can just like put it in the middle, like depending on updates. Like right now, it's a C quality aircraft, but the developer's promising B quality stuff.
Yeah.
Give them the benefit of the doubt. Hot Start / LES, the TBM, arguably one of the most high quality planes, period, for any sim. Just wow. I think we could just put it in the S tier without going deep into that. We could just put it in there. It's like they're not that arrogant, but they deserve to be. They have the right to be arrogant. They do.
Kind of like PNG.
Yeah.
In a way. Yeah.
I was over at my friend's, and his dad was a Northwest 747 pilot. I think flight engineer on the 200 freighters for Northwest Orient. And he also had some time in the 400 back, in the bowling shoe livery and everything.
Yeah.
So we were reading the manuals, and then we were going through it, and he gave a shot in the PMDG, and he was just like blown away at how real it was to the real thing. And I'm like, this is why we pay so much, one.
Yeah.
And this is why PMDG is really arrogant in the forums, because like, the planes are good, and most of the time it's us making the mistake, not the plane. So I feel like they've achieved that level of pride where they can be arrogant, and they're not, so that's a double win. X Enviro, again, I'm kind of good friends with the developer of that, so I don't want to call his product bad, but
they're clouds.
It's $80 for weather. What is the price of the 70? I think it's like $74.
Yeah, $70 something last time I checked.
For weather. X-Plane users love to say how expensive prepared is, but we're not paying $75 for weather. Oh.
I mean, I've heard that their weather isn't the greatest, but the textures is what really is the reason why people get it.
Okay, I think Scout has it, and you know, he had mixed emotions with it. He was like, it's kind of good sometimes, it's kind of god-awful sometimes, so... The update they're showing...
Update, yeah.
Yeah, it looks really good. The pictures and the, like, time-lapses look good, but then we see, like, the live streams, and we're just like, what is that? Yeah, we're like, what? So we're kind of getting, like, we're getting mixed signals here. It's like you send the risky text to the girl, and then the next day she's just like, hi, but you don't know if it's good or bad of a hi. That was a beautiful analogy. Thank you. That was the best analogy. Nobody's made a better analogy. It's like a thing where it's like we don't know how good it's going to be. I've seen from the inside part of it that it looks really good, but when you release videos to like R1 Aviation, where it looks like a slideshow on the ground, I kid you not when I say this, it's a literal slideshow on the ground, then it's hard to take it seriously. So I'm thinking B or C. I'm thinking a little more C though right now. Because right now the product is of C quality, but it could even go up to A quality if they get it.
If the clouds.
Yeah, if the update works, then yeah. Last but certainly not least, Hi-Fi Simulations. They are the owners, or the development company behind Active Sky for X-Plane, which is a direct competitor to X-Enviro. I think they do a pretty good job. I'm pretty happy with them. I think they are pretty good overall. Yeah, they're nice. I think we can put them in the A tier. Until they release Cloud Art, I'm gonna put them in A tier because we still have to deal with the default X-Plane clouds. But yeah, that's what.
By the way, I know they have like some like cloud textures, but
they replaced some things, but yeah. I think that's it. That's the entire tier list thing right there. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is all we have for today. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Smack the like button for more content like this in the future. If you'd like to download this tier list and do it yourself with your friends and show how you hate this developer or something, feel free to download it. Link will be in the description. If you want to see me do a tier list video of this and prepared, you can also check the in-screen annotation, which is going to show me doing this for prepared. Also, if you're also unprepared, we have this new subreddit. We need people. We need to show our flights and what a good picture is like.
We can't have those cursed X-Plane pics.
We're saying this on an X-Plane video.